This is the story of a young girl who accidentally travels nearly 1,000 years into the future. And trust me, this movie won't let you get bored for even a single moment. So let's begin. Because the mystery that was about to unfold was far beyond anything a human mind could imagine. One ordinary day, Casey accidentally touches a strange badge. The moment her fingers make contact, an entirely different world suddenly comes to life before her eyes. It feels as if a secret doorway to the future has just been unlocked. But before she can fully understand what's happening, she is instantly pulled back to reality. The experience is so shocking that she screams out loud. People standing nearby immediately turn toward her with confused expressions. Trying to hide her panic, Casey quickly tells everyone that she's fine. But deep inside, her mind is completely shaken. Things like this belong in stories and legends, not in the real world. Curious and confused, she picks up the badge again and touches it a second time. Once again, the same mysterious vision appears. At that moment, she realizes she isn't imagining things. Something extraordinary has entered her life, and whatever it is, it's going to change everything. Although Casey is frightened, her curiosity grows even stronger. This time, she grabs the badge firmly in her hand. In an instant, a breathtaking landscape appears before her. Endless golden fields stretch toward the horizon, while a massive futuristic structure shines brightly in the distance. The view is so vivid that it feels as though the future itself is standing right in front of her. Excited, she begins moving toward the giant building, but suddenly she crashes into an invisible barrier. The destination is right there in front of her, yet the path remains blocked. The reason is simple. Her physical body is still standing in the real world. Only her consciousness has been transported to this mysterious place. The system has allowed her to see the future, but it hasn't granted her full access yet. And this is where the mystery becomes even deeper. A nearby boy notices her strange behavior and assumes she's trying some unusual way of flirting. He reaches toward the badge, but Casey immediately stops him. Somehow, she knows that not everyone is meant to discover this secret. She wraps the badge carefully and takes it home with her. During the entire journey, countless questions race through her mind. Why is she the only one seeing this place? What exactly is the badge, and who gave it to her? By the time she reaches home, she desperately needs answers. Hoping to prove that the experience is real, she decides to let her father try the badge. But when he touches it, absolutely nothing happens. No visions, no future world, nothing at all. That's when Casey realizes something important. The badge chose her. To confirm her suspicion, she touches it once again. Instantly, she returns to the mysterious future world. But this time, something feels different. She can sense herself moving forward much faster than before, almost as if an unseen system has recognized her and is pulling her toward a specific destination. Meanwhile, her father becomes convinced that she's playing some kind of prank. Annoyed by her behavior, he takes the badge away and keeps it with him. But Casey isn't the kind of person who gives up easily. What started as curiosity has now turned into determination. Late that night, after her father falls asleep, she quietly sneaks into his room. Carefully, she reaches for the badge. The moment she touches it, the golden future world appears once again. This time, she doesn't waste a second. She immediately heads toward the giant structure she saw earlier. Yet once again, the same invisible wall blocks her path. Now Casey finally understands. The problem isn't the destination, it's the way she's trying to reach it. A new idea suddenly forms in her mind. She memorizes the direction of the building, grabs her bicycle, and starts riding toward the location in the real world. At this point, she has become obsessed with uncovering the truth, because some mysteries refuse to let go, and Casey has no intention of turning back until she discovers what lies beyond the doorway to tomorrow.
Eventually, Casey reaches an open field where nothing blocks her path. Taking a deep breath, she pulls out the badge once again. The moment she touches it, everything changes. This time, instead of being stopped outside, she suddenly finds herself inside the futuristic structure. For the first time, the hidden world fully opens before her eyes. The city around her is unlike anything she has ever imagined. Advanced technology fills every corner. Trains race through the air without tracks. Rockets launch into the sky and return to their platforms automatically. Massive swimming pools seem to ignore gravity itself. It feels like stepping into humanity's wildest dreams. Completely overwhelmed with excitement, Casey begins exploring. She boards one of the futuristic trains and later makes her way toward a gigantic rocket launch facility. She wants to experience everything with her own eyes because opportunities like this don't come twice. But just as she's about to enter a rocket, something strange happens. Her legs suddenly begin to feel heavy. At the same time, a countdown starts appearing on the back of the badge. Even though she tries to move forward, time is running out. And then in an instant, she's pulled back into the real world. The future disappears. Back home, Casey immediately starts researching the mysterious badge online. She becomes determined to uncover its secret. After hours of searching, she finally discovers an important clue. A local store has been collecting badges exactly like hers. Without wasting a second, she heads there, convinced that answers are waiting for her. Inside the store, she meets the owner, a woman who seems to know far more about the badges than anyone else. The woman explains that the badge is actually a pass to a place called Tomorrowland. But there's a catch. Not everyone can use it. Only specially chosen people are able to activate its power. Suddenly, Casey realizes that she may be more important than she ever imagined. However, when the store owner asks who gave her the badge, Casey admits she has no idea. The answer instantly changes the woman's attitude. Her expression becomes serious, almost suspicious. It feels as though Casey is hiding something far bigger than she realizes. The atmosphere in the room grows tense. Then, to Casey's surprise, the woman pulls out what looks like a toy gun and begins threatening her. At first, Casey assumes it's some kind of joke, but one look at the woman's face tells her otherwise. This is no joke. For the first time, she realizes she's in real danger. Before either of them can react further, a metallic sphere suddenly crashes through the window. The store owner immediately recognizes it, and her expression turns to fear. Whatever that device is, she knows exactly what it can do. Unfortunately, it's already too late. Within seconds, the entire situation spirals out of control. Death has entered the room. Suddenly, a young girl smashes through the window and lands inside the store. She urgently tells Casey to run before powerful laser blasts tear the place apart. But Casey freezes. Her hand is locked around the badge. Panic overwhelms her. Time is running out. Without hesitation, the mysterious girl grabs Casey and drags her out of the building, just seconds before disaster strikes. Outside, the newcomer immediately begins fighting the store owner. Despite looking young and harmless, she possesses incredible strength. Within moments, she dominates the fight. But then something shocking is revealed. The store owner isn't human at all. She's a robot. Casey stands frozen in disbelief. Everything she thought she understood suddenly falls apart. This mystery is no longer about strange technology. It's far bigger than that. After escaping the store, Casey gets into a car with a mysterious. During the journey, she learns something unexpected. The girl was the one who secretly gave her the badge in the first place, meaning their meeting wasn't an accident. It was planned. But before Casey can process that information, another shocking truth comes out. The mysterious girl herself is also a robot. The revelation terrifies Casey. Feeling betrayed and confused, she immediately stops the car and runs away. Once again, her trust has been shattered. The robot girl chases after her, trying to explain. But before she can reach Casey, she's suddenly struck by a moving vehicle. The driver rushes toward her in panic. Meanwhile, another girl takes the opportunity to escape with the car. Everything becomes even more chaotic. But then something impossible happens. The robot girl slowly stands back up, as if the collision never happened. No injuries, no damage, nothing. For the first time, Casey realizes she isn't dealing with ordinary technology. This machine moves far beyond anything humans should be capable of. Looking into the rearview mirror, Casey watches in complete shock as the girl sprints after the vehicle at an inhuman speed. And then, without warning, the robot launches herself through the air and lands directly on the hood of the moving car. Casey's heart nearly stops. Terrified, she slams on the brakes with all her strength. The entire vehicle shakes violently. The impact throws the mysterious girl forward into the windshield, but even that isn't enough to stop her. In the very next moment, she snaps the ignition key apart and jams the door locks shut. Now Casey has nowhere left to run, and whether she likes it or not, she's finally going to hear the truth. After realizing that the mysterious girl wasn't trying to hurt her, Casey finally calms down and decides to listen. The girl introduces herself as Athena. In a surprisingly calm voice, she reveals that she is a recruiter from Tomorrowland, a hidden world far beyond anything Casey can imagine. Her mission is to find people who still believe in hope, creativity, and a better future. And according to Athena, Casey is the last person chosen, which means the fate of tomorrow may now rest in her hands. Athena then reveals an even darker truth. A disaster is approaching, a catastrophe so massive that if nothing changes, it won't just destroy the future, it will eventually destroy the present world as well. For Casey, this is no longer some exciting mystery. It's real, and the clock is already ticking. However, reaching Tomorrowland again won't be easy. According to Athena, there is only one person who knows how to get there. His name is Frank. Without wasting any time, the two head straight to Frank's house. But things don't go as planned. The moment they arrive, Frank refuses to open the door. No matter how much they plead, argue, or try to convince him, he refuses to cooperate. Frustrated and disappointed, Casey starts walking around the property. As she explores, she notices strange receivers and communication devices installed all around the house. And that's when an idea suddenly appears in her mind. A dangerous one. Nearby, she spots an abandoned vehicle. Within minutes, a plan is set in motion. A short time later, Frank notices a burning car rolling directly toward his home. Panicking, he rushes outside carrying a fire extinguisher. But while he's distracted fighting the fire, the real plan unfolds behind him. Someone quietly slips inside the house. The intruder makes their way through the building and eventually reaches a hidden control room. What they find inside is terrifying. Massive screens display images of global destruction, wars, chaos, environmental collapse, and in the center of the room sits a countdown machine. A countdown that appears to be measuring humanity's remaining time. Moments later, Frank enters through a secret passage. This time, he doesn't hide the truth. He reveals that the world has only 60 days left before complete collapse. According to him, nothing can stop it anymore. The future is already decided. Humanity has lost. But Casey refuses to accept that answer. She looks him straight in the eye and says something he hasn't heard in years. The future isn't written, people create it. At that exact moment, something incredible happens. On one of the monitors, a percentage indicator suddenly changes. For the first time, it drops from 100% to 99%. Frank stares at the screen in shock. For years, the numbers never changed, not even once. Could Casey really be different? Could she actually change the future? For the first time in a very long time, hope begins to return. Soon afterward, Athena takes both Casey and Frank to a secret underground facility. Hidden inside is an advanced transportation pod, unlike anything Casey has ever seen. The machine powers up. Lights begin flashing. Energy starts building around them. Almost immediately, Casey feels dizzy. Everything around her begins spinning, and then darkness takes over. When she finally opens her eyes, she finds herself somewhere completely unexpected. Paris? But this isn't an ordinary trip. This journey is about to change the course of history itself. The three make their way to the Eiffel Tower. Hidden deep within the structure, they encounter four brilliant scientists who have secretly maintained contact with Tomorrowland for years. After a brief conversation, one of them activates a hidden switch. Suddenly, the impossible happens. The Eiffel Tower begins splitting apart. Massive mechanical sections move aside, and from beneath the structure, a gigantic rocket slowly rises toward the sky. Casey watches in complete amazement. The mission has officially begun. Without hesitation, Casey, Athena, and Frank board the rocket. Moments later, engines ignite. The vehicle blasts into the sky, tearing through clouds and racing toward the edge of space. As it climbs higher, the first booster separates from the main rocket. Then the capsule rotates. At that moment, there is no turning back. Everything they once knew is now behind them. The capsule begins descending toward Earth at incredible speed. But this isn't a normal return. Instead, it smashes directly through a hidden space-time barrier. Reality itself seems to shatter. And on the other side, Tomorrowland finally awaits.